There have been some major shakeups over at PlayStation recently, with first the CEO, Jim Ryan, retired last year after he's been with the company for 30 years. He originally became the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment back in 2019, and he was able to oversee the launch of the PS5. So they were successful. And then after Jim Ryan's retirement, it was later on announced that his successor would in fact be two CEOs. So they had a co-CEO system where Hideaki Nishino would be the CEO of the business side, and then Herman Holst would be the CEO of the studio business group. But things have changed where now Nishino will be the sole CEO in charge, and Herman Holst will just be the CEO of the PlayStation Studios. Hideaki Nishino, in a press release, said, "I am truly honored to take the helm at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Technology and creativity are two of our biggest strengths as we continue to focus on developing experiences that deliver entertainment for everyone. We will continue to grow the PlayStation community in new ways, such as IP expansion, while also delivering the best in technology innovation. I want to thank Herman for his expertise and leadership as he continues his role as CEO Studio Business Group. I am deeply grateful for the PlayStation community and their continued support, and I am very excited for what the future holds." To me, this just speaks that they don't really know what they're doing, and in my opinion, this is not a good look for Sony. It just seems like whenever a company gets really successful, we go through these phases where back in the PS3 days, when the PlayStation 3 was very expensive.
In North America, the PlayStation 3 will be available at retail on November 17th, 2006. The 20 gigabyte PlayStation 3 will retail for $499 US dollars and 549 Canadian dollars. And the 60 gigabyte PlayStation 3 for $599 US dollars, $659 Canadian.
Sony got their ass handed to them by Microsoft, and then everything else flip-flopped. Then all of a sudden, Xbox became very successful, and that's how we ended up with them being a real pain-in-the-ass company.
TV experience. TV. Sports.
Xbox is about to become the next water cooler.
And then Sony, during that PS4 generation, were the ones that got humbled, learned from their mistakes from the PS3 generation.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
And was able to really become successful. All of this giant leadership changes at Sony, especially when they backtracked from having two CEOs, it just seems like they don't know what they're doing to me. And as a person who's been a lifelong PlayStation fan, that's very concerning to me. I'm hoping this means they've fully made their pick and they're moving forward with Hideaki Nishino as the CEO moving forward. And I hope that things become stable, because they were not stable for the last couple of years, with Concord being a complete disaster, And then with Naughty Dog canceling their Last of Us multiplayer game, Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg broke the news that Bluepoint Games, which made the Demon's Souls remake for the PS5, was working on a live service God of War multiplayer game that got canceled. I'm really hoping that all of these changes is now leading towards a brighter future for Sony, where we get to see more of what they're actually great at, which is making great single-player, story-driven action-adventure campaigns. I understand they bought Bungie, that was a big deal, but I feel like just because you bought Bungie, that shouldn't mean that you're going to go gung-ho and release all these games that are only multiplayer focused, because you can't just steer your ship to go all in towards multiplayer, sacrificing the types of games that made you the powerhouse that you were in the first place. I'm really hoping that Nishino can learn from all of these shakeups that Sony has been through over with their gaming division, and I'm really hoping that he can turn things around and steer PlayStation in a better future.